Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Can McCaffrey?
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the beat and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So here come the Lions now. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw again on second down. Ryan throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now Ryan. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 21 carries, 119 yards, and the score. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
When we draw defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point splits the uprights. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now this throw caught left side, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Amendola's got it, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards.
Ready, check 25. Check 56. Watch the screen. Let him go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. James White, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Burton. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. He's got Burton here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Now he's 4 and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Gerald McCoy, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We're going to keep getting sacks.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left, didn't get there anyway. It's no good. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. And And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Lions to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They start the drive with White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And the pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ryan. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 43. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And
this is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
First down. You better be afraid of me.
First down, here's White. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Opting to run again here with White. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. James White, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee. As the Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Oh, you got deep?
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jason Pierre-Paul has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here comes Grant on the return. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
80 weapons. Got it going.
On first down, Ryan. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 33 yards that time. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And open here is Hogan. He's got it. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is McCaffrey. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, a run from White. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Even, 4th down, even.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Lions, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's just their 2nd loss.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.